Ever get that feeling, when you walk into a house and it's like, whoa, this place has some serious vibes, like some heavy stuff went down here.
Oh, absolutely. You just feel it in the air, right?
Totally. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Ooh, exciting. What have we got?
We're looking at the Allen House in Monette, Arkansas.
The Allen House. Okay.
We're going off this YouTube episode, A Haunting. Have you seen that show?
Oh, yeah. I've seen a few episodes. It can get pretty wild.
This one's supposed to be one of their creepiest. It's a real case, and, well, let's just say this house has quite the reputation.
I'm intrigued already.
So we're going to break down the story, see what kind of evidence they present, and try to figure out what makes this haunting so captivating, What is it about this particular place that just grabs people?
Okay, love that. Let's get into it.
So the episode starts with this couple, Mark and Rebecca Spencer.
Oh, right.
And they're moving to this small town, Monette, for Mark's job.
Right.
He's got a position at the University of Arkansas.
Ah, university town. Classic setting.
Right. And they find this amazing house. It's like a gorgeous old mansion.
Ooh, I love a good old mansion.
Yeah. But there's a catch.
Uh-oh. There's always a catch with these places, isn't there?
Right. Everyone in town is like, oh, be careful. That house is haunted.
Oh, no. So are the Spencers believers.
Well, that's the thing. They're academics, right? Pretty grounded, skeptical people.
You think so? Yeah.
But, and this is where it gets really interesting, even before they buy the house, Rebecca sees a woman in the window.
Hold on. She sees someone in the window, like before they even move in?
Yep. It's like one of those classic horror movie moments,
That's a little freaky, I have to say.
Total foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Right. And then, of course, they move in and things just get weirder.
Oh, I bet. So tell me about the house itself. What's the deal with this place?
So it was built in 1906, over a century old.
Wow. A true antique. I'm picturing all those creaky floorboards and those hidden nooks and crannies.
Oh, yeah. And the episode really plays up the atmosphere. They talk about how gloomy it feels, all the old furniture, and this super creepy attic.
Attics are always creepy.
It's like they're painting a picture of a house that's just steeped in history, And with that history comes the story of Ladell Allen.
Ladell Allen? Who's that?
She was the daughter of the original owner.
Okay.
And, well, here's the thing. She died in the house.
Died in the house. Oh, no. What happened?
It was a suicide, but no one knows why. The episode says she was young, well-loved, but there's just no clear reason.
That's so sad and mysterious. It makes you wonder what happened to her.
Right. And that mystery kind of hangs over the whole episode. Like, what's the missing piece of this puzzle?
I see. So the Spencers are living in this house, trying to fix it up, and then bam, the spooky stuff starts.
Exactly. They hear footsteps in the attic. There's this old photograph of baby Ladell, and it gets torn in half.
Wait, what? The photo just tears itself in half?
Well, that's what the episode leads us to believe. No one can explain it.
I'd be a little freaked out at that point. But I mean, is that enough to say that the house is haunted?
That's the question, isn't it? Could it be explained away?
Yeah.
Old houses make noise. Maybe it was animals. I don't know.
Yeah. Old house stuff. But it's still creepy,
Totally. And then there's this scene where Mark is in the attic, and he sees his shadow, but
But what? Don't leave me hanging.
his shadow is totally separate from him. Like, it's not moving with him at all.
What? That's not how shadows work.
Right. That's when things start to get really unsettling.
Yeah, hearing weird noises is one thing, but actually seeing something like that would send me packing.
I know. But the Spencers, they stick it out. In fact, they decide to do something kind of bold.
Bold. What do they do?
They start hosting Halloween tours of the house.
What, Halloween tours in a haunted house? Are they trying to get people even more scared?
Maybe. But they figured, hey, it's a little fun. Plus, it helps them raise money for the renovations. Old houses are expensive.
Makes sense. But I wouldn't want to be on one of those tours.
Turns out it was a bad idea.
Oh, no. What happened? Did they get more than they bargained for?
Well, one of the tour guides, his name's Shane, he's in a closet showing people something, and his shirt just flies out.
His shirt flies out, like by itself?
Yeah. It scared everyone, including Shane. And he was a skeptic, too,
Oh, wow. So even the people who didn't believe, they're starting to wonder.
Exactly. And then, to make things even weirder, there's this older woman on one of the tours, and she claims she saw Ladell.
Wait, hold on. She saw Ladell, like the ghost of Ladell.
That's what she said. It makes you wonder, right? How much of this is real? How much is just the power of suggestion?
Yeah, it's like, are people seeing what they expect to see because they're in this haunted house? But then you've got that shirt thing.
Right, and Shane couldn't explain that. So the Spencers getting pretty freaked out. They decide to call in a paranormal team.
Oh, the big guns. They're bringing in the experts.
But as they're leaving the house that night to meet the investigators, Rebecca gets this awful feeling, like something's really wrong.
Ooh, bad vibes. Never a good sign.
And right at that moment, the power goes out.
No way! The power goes out right when the paranormal team is about to arrive.
Yep. And it's pitch black. Everyone's kind of freaking out.
Spooky.
But their audio recorders are still on.
Oh man, that's when you know things are about to get real.
And in the darkness, they capture these voices. Whispers. What they call EVPs.
EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, right. Those can be chillin'.
And these weren't just random sounds. They were like interacting with the investigators, responding to questions.
Whoa, like intelligent responses, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that's when Mark, who was the biggest skeptic, he totally changes his mind. He's like, okay, something's definitely going on here.
So it's not just a haunted house anymore. It's like there's something or someone trying to communicate.
Exactly. And it drives Mark to go back to that creepy attic, even though he'd already searched it before.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat here. What does he find?
Hidden away, he finds a bunch of letters, love letters written to Ladell.
Love letters. Ooh, this is getting interesting.
And that's where things take a totally unexpected turn.
And these letters are from a guy named Prentice Hemingway Savage.
Prentice Hemingway Savage. What a name.
Right. And get this, he was a big deal, like the vice president of Texaco Oil.
Whoa, talk about a scandal waiting to happen.
Seriously. So Ladell and Prentice, they'd known each other since they were teenagers, but they reconnected later in life, and, well, things got romantic.
Okay, forbidden love. I'm already hooked.
But there was a big problem. Prentice was married.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and not just married. He was in a position where an affair would have ruined him, socially, professionally, the whole 9 yards.
So they had to keep it a secret?
Exactly. The letters talk about their secret meetings, promises of a future together. It's heartbreaking, you know? All this passion and longing, but doomed from the start.
Man, it's like a Greek tragedy or something.
Totally. And remember how no one could figure out why Ladell committed suicide? Well, the Spencers believe these letters hold the key.
It's like all the pieces of the puzzle are finally falling into place.
Right. We go from a spooky ghost story to this really tragic love story. It adds a whole other layer to the haunting.
It's not just about scary noises anymore. It's about this woman's pain, her secret, her heartbreak. It makes it all so much more real, so much more human.
I think that's what makes this episode so compelling. It goes beyond the surface level scares and gets to something deeper, something more emotional.
And what really gets me is that Mark, he says he saw Ladell in the attic right before he found the letters.
No way, seriously.
Yeah. It's almost like she was leading him to them. You know, like she wanted her story to be told.
It gives me chills just thinking about it. It's like that classic trope in ghost stories, the idea of unfinished business.
Like they're stuck here until they can communicate something, right?
Exactly. The Spencers, they become convinced that Ladell's spirit couldn't rest because her story was incomplete.
She wanted the world to know about Prentice, about their love and how it all ended.
It's like a cry for help from beyond the grave.
And Mark, he feels this deep connection to Ladell, and he decides to write a book about her, about the house, about everything they went through.
He wanted to honor her memory, give her a voice after all these years.
It's like he's completing her story, you know, filling in the missing pieces.
And maybe that's what she needed all along, for someone to listen, to understand, to tell her story.
So the question is, did it work? Is the Allen house still haunted? The episode doesn't really give us a clear answer.
That's the thing about these stories, isn't it? They always leave you with more questions than answers.
It makes you wonder about the nature of hauntings, you know. What does it really mean for a place to be haunted?
Are they always about malevolent spirits, or could they be something else entirely?
It makes you think about all the places out there with their own hidden stories.
Like, what happened within those walls? What secrets are they holding on to?
Have you ever been somewhere and felt this weird energy like something happened here, but you don't know what?
Oh, all the time. Especially in old buildings.
It's like the past is still present, you know, the echoes of what came before.
And in the case of the Allen house, those echoes seem to be more about sorrow and longing than anything evil.
It's a story about love, loss, regret, the things that haunt us all, whether we believe in ghosts or not.
At the end of the day, it's a human story, and I think that's why it resonates so deeply.
This deep dive has been wild, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We've gone from creepy shadows to secret love affairs to the very nature of hauntings.
It's been quite the journey.
And it's given me a whole new perspective on what it means for a place to be haunted.
Me too. It's not always about the scares. Sometimes it's about the stories, the emotions that linger long after people are gone.
It really makes you think, are all hauntings just like malevolent spirits and things going bump in the night? Or could it be like more about echoes of emotion, stories that just want to be heard?
Yeah, like you said earlier, the Allen house, it really makes you question all those assumptions we have about hauntings.
Right.
It suggests that maybe sometimes a haunting is more of a plea for understanding, a need to kind of set the record straight.
Like, hey, this is my story. Listen to me.
Exactly. And that makes me wonder if we could actually talk to Ladell. What would she say?
Oh, man, that's a great question.
Was she finally able to find peace once her story was out in the open?
Do you think sharing her secret finally, lifted that burden of grief and regret?
It's something to ponder, isn't it? And I think that's what makes this whole story so powerful.
Yeah.
It gives us a glimpse into the unknown, the possibility that there's so much more to the world than we can actually see or explain.
It's like a little peek behind the curtain,
Right. And it kind of invites us to consider all the mysteries that might be hidden, like just beneath the surface of our own lives.
Maybe there are untold stories all around us, just waiting to be discovered.
Exactly.
Well, this deep dive into the Allen house has been,
It's been a lot.
it really has. Fascinating, heartbreaking, a little bit spooky.
Definitely spooky.
But it's definitely a reminder that every house, every place, really, it holds stories.
They all have a past, that's for sure.
And maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
some of those stories, they're just waiting for someone to listen.
I think you're right about that.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive. But thanks for joining us as we explored the mysteries of the Allen house.
And who knows what other mysteries we'll uncover next time. Until then, keep an ear out for those whispers from the past.